let's do it. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how much you're going to make in the first year, second year, third year, and fourth year. Obviously, this comes down to how much energy and time and effort you put into it, but this is just a good kind of ballpark starting point to give you an idea of what I did, how I started from year one, literally from scratch, to now passing 4 years in business. So I'll give the real numbers straight to the point. Let's dive into it. All right, so a question I get very commonly is when I first started, from scratch, day one, how much did I invest and how much money did I need to invest into just getting it going? So I started with about $5,000 or $10,000, somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 in cash that I had saved up, and I used that to invest in the initial stuff like rent and office rent. I had to pay for my alliance. There was an initial fee. I think it was like $1,200. Office rent at the time was like $500. Phone system, had to get all that set up. Management system, marketing, getting my logo and those things set up. So it cost me all in with licensing and all the different errors and omissions, all those costs. Check out the How to Start an Insurance Agency or How to Start an Insurance Company video. But all those costs altogether around somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000. So I also get the question, what does that first 3 to 6 months look like when you first are getting going? I will tell you right now, and I say it often, it is complete hell trying to figure everything out. Especially, it doesn't matter if you're coming from experience in the captive agents, if you're Farmers or State Farm or any other Allstate. Independent insurance agencies are very different. There's a lot to learn. So those first 3 to 6 months, you're going to be figuring out stuff, just foundational systems, processes with different carriers. So very confusing, a lot to learn in those early months, and I basically made very little money. So be prepared to make very little money and reinvest every single penny that you have into the business early on. You cannot expect to be making a ton of money early on. About a year in, you can, let's just say you hit $250,000 in premiums sold, which is about $20,000 a month in premium. It's not that much. It's pretty low, and that's kind of the first year you'll make somewhere between $25,000 and $40,000 in commissions. Not a ton of money, especially in today's world. But that will be your first kind of base renewal commission, and then every year that kind of stacks up. So if you do that again the following year, another $250,000. Now you have $500,000 book. It's generating somewhere between $50,000 and $70,000 in commissions. Now you can finally sustain a lifestyle, any type of basic lifestyle. And then year 3 you compounds, you do it again and again for year 4. Obviously these are kind of low ball numbers I'm giving you, but you can expect by year 4, if you really start to progress, you should at least have a couple $1 million book of business that should be generating somewhere between and I'll just say on the high side, when people are really crushing it, like $500,000 in commissions. So in a couple years, if you really hunker down, double down and reinvest, like I said, reinvest every single penny that you have back into the business. Literally, that's what I did. Year 1, I paid myself $0. Year 2, I paid myself $0. And then into year 3, I started paying myself a small salary because my CPA was saying, like, Chris, you have to start paying yourself. So I started doing that. And then year 4, the commissions really start to flow. You can pay yourself a little bit more and actually enjoy your life with your money that you're making, which is great. Also, the great thing about that is in taxes, year 1, you don't pay any taxes because you're essentially breaking even, or if not, taking a loss. So it also comes down to your expenses. Everything you spend with your business credit card or business money is an expense. Office, desk, computers, phones, internet, your marketing, your payroll, your leads, even payroll for yourself if you have the right corporation set up. Obviously, check with your CPA. I'm not a legal advisor when it comes to finances or taxes, so don't necessarily take everything from me. This is just what worked for me. Year 1, I didn't pay any taxes at all. Actually, I got like tax credits because I put down a bunch of furniture that I paid for as a loss, so carried over to the next year, tax credits. And year 2, didn't really pay taxes. I broke even pretty much. Was just, like I said, your own payroll counts as an expense. So writing everything off is very important. Also, you don't want to be paying taxes in that first couple of years. Really kind of like double down, reinvest, and allow the thing to carry on and snowball. So reinvesting is important the first couple of years. And some of the biggest expenses you can expect are, like I said, your management system is there, your office rent, depending on how big of a space you need, your payroll, your team is going to cost money to have a legit team. Having payroll and paying everybody properly is important. Marketing and leads, like if you don't have leads flowing in, you just have a broken system. It's just, you're going to be burning up cash and not feeding the machine oxygen. Like the oxygen is leads. Like leads need to be coming in, and buying leads is important. So shout out to CommQuote. Maybe we could pop up CommQuote here if anybody's interested in commercialquoting.com. Check it out. That's for our lead vendor, where we generate pretty much live, hot commercial leads at any time and can pretty much convert. They're the best leads I've ever used since I've started my agency, and help drive the revenue for my business every single month. So highly recommend. Boom, CommQuote. Your phone, your internet, all those expenses all come together. Early on, you want to keep it as lean as possible. Like, don't overdo your expenses. I would say just breaking even year 1 is great. It's a great way to do it because, like I said, no taxes, you're reinvesting in the business, and you're covering all your overhead. So then year 2, you should really shoot for the stars, try to make as much money as you can. And year 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, as you start to compound all that book and really starts to grow, and then you have a big tax bill, that's a good problem to have. So if you have a huge tax bill, that means you're doing something right, but you want to figure out ways where you can try to eliminate those taxes, and by reinvesting in the business. And that's one of the great parts of running your own agency and business. So that's all I got. Hopefully that does help you and give you an idea of how much you can start to make in the first couple years. Year 1, year 2, don't expect to make, a lot and any at all. I would just say be ready to literally break even. Year 3, 4, you're definitely going to be in the profit zone as long as you're hammering away, and it still is a grind. Like, you don't just sit there and it shows up year 3 and 4. Like, you scratch and you claw for every single policy that comes into the business, and you work your ass off for it. So you got to make it happen. If that brings any value to you, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share this with somebody who's just getting started. We also have chriscostantini.com. There's the packages that are available with the 5 sessions to get your agency set up. My goal with that is to try to almost duplicate Adelphia, my own agency, into someone else. Basically almost give you all the infrastructure, and obviously you plug in and do your own thing. But it's really to help you speed up the process. Don't make those same mistakes in those 0 to 3 to 6 months. That's where all the learning happens. But that time can be really cut down, and speed. The sooner you get this thing rolling, like whatever the cost is of this consulting package is going to be far outweighed by the time that you are saving and are speeding up and making more sales. Like, it's a no-brainer that you should do this, and that's why I feel comfortable and excited to offer this to people. So highly recommend that. Take this not just from me, like anybody out there that's willing to give you advice about how to get your agency started. I highly recommend you do it, because that's the only thing that can speed up your process is knowledge. So you're gonna make a ton of mistakes in that first year, but speed it up with knowledge and learning from others. That's my piece of advice on this Monday morning in 2022. So hopefully this does help. I wanted to remake this. I think it'll be valuable for a lot of people out there. So give us a like, subscribe. Really appreciate it. Check out CommQuote. And if you need help, hit me up on chriscostantini.com. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.